Howdy, Immortalium here, and today I'm going to be reviewing the original 1978 anime series, Space Pirate Captain Harlock. Now, you might have heard of Space Pirate Captain Harlock. There was a 2013 CG film that was released that was very different story-wise from the original series, and it's one of the most prominent works from the legendary Leiji Matsumoto, a mangaka. So this is a very important and famous series. But is it good? And that's what we're going to be discussing today. So let's get started. So what is the story of Space Pirate Captain Harlock? Space Pirate Captain Harlock is set in 2977 and features an Earth that has become pretty lethargic. Most humans are now just kind of wallowing in their own rooms, watching television, not really engaging with the world itself. And the politicians are little better. They're corrupt. They're only interested in their own pleasure. And one of their greatest enemies is Captain Harlock, a space pirate aboard his ship, the Arcadia, who has rejected this corruption and has made himself a criminal in their eyes. Now, it is interesting to note that Captain Harlock is also in charge of taking care of a little girl called Mayu. However, Mayu lives in this orphanage on Earth. Captain Harlock goes down every so often just to check how she's doing, is she okay? And while all this is happening, there is this encroaching invasion that we learn about from an alien species called the Mazone. And the Mazone target a scientist and murder him. And his son, Tadashi Daiba, decides to join up with Captain Harlock and his crew in an effort to get revenge and to help defend the Earth. And that's how the story begins. Now, I have to say, first of all, that I love this series. I have to get that out there because I think this series is absolutely fantastic. I think the storytelling in the series is superb. It oozes style. The villains, the Mazone, are fantastic. It does take a while to understand what their motivations are, but once you learn, you really start to see them as very grounded villains. And that's not to say how great the main characters are. Captain Harlock himself oozes cool and charisma, and it's very easy to root for him as the main character. And the rest of his crew is equally engaging, with lots of very interesting characters to engage us over the course of this series, which is 42 episodes long. If I had a criticism of the storytelling, it's actually the fact there are a couple of episodes in this series that feel a bit more episodic than other ones. In contrast to many of the episodes that deal with the troubled crew of the Arcadia or figuring out more about the Mazone, there are a couple of episodes in this which are kind of more standalone and are a bit more mediocre in quality. And while there's very few of them out of this 42 episode series, there is just enough in there that it did irritate me a little. But in general, the storytelling in this series is absolutely fantastic. There's some amazing character revelations later on in this series, and some really powerful emotional moments. And overall, I just think that this story is great, and that anime fans should be absolutely pleased by this story. This anime was animated by a company called Toei Animation, which is one of the biggest animation companies in Japan. You will know them for having done the animation for Dragon Ball, for One Piece. They did Panda Go Panda, which is a series I reviewed recently. And in general, I've always found their animation quality to be a little on the weak side. However, I think the animation in this series is great. Now, it helps that it was directed by one of the most prominent and famous anime directors in the industry, Rintaro, who brings this amazing style to the series. It borders sometimes on the abstract, and some people might find that a bit confusing or difficult to understand, but I think the style of this series is absolutely beautiful. And I think personally, even though a lot of people will probably have a lot of difficulty with its older look, I actually think that of all the Toei animation stuff I've seen, this is amongst one of the best that I've seen from them. I think the animation in this series is incredible. Now, with regards to the music is very much style. There's a lot of very stylish music in here. In fact, the opening music is one that I find myself singing along to constantly. In particular, its ending. Inochi osu tete, ore wa ikiru. But I think overall the soundtrack is pretty good in this series. Admittedly, I do think that it's mostly style over substance, but that does actually fit quite well into the main show, so I think it complements the main show very well. With regards to the voice acting, now it's worth noting that there is no English dub in this. There apparently was an English dub done a long time ago, but it was very heavily edited stuff. And for this release, which is the original 42 episodes, the Japanese dub is the only one available. However, I have to say that the Japanese voice cast does an excellent job. In fact, particular praise has to go to Makio Inoue for his amazing performance of Captain Harlock. Many lesser voice actors would probably have given Captain Harlock quite a stiff performance, considering how stoic and restrained emotionally he is. But Makio Inoue gives him a performance that hints at so much emotion lying underneath him, and it's an absolutely fantastic performance, and the rest of the cast does an excellent job as well. So the Japanese is great. With regards to the way that Discotek Media released this, Discotek Media released all 42 episodes of this series in one box set, which is great. Unfortunately, that means that there's little to no extras in this box. It's pretty much just the series itself. But the fact that you can get all 42 episodes in one box is excellent, and I was very pleased with their general presentation. So overall, what are my thoughts on Space Pirate Captain Harlock? I think it's an amazing show. Honestly, it's one of my favorite anime shows that I've ever seen. I think it's just that good. I'm sure many people might have an issue with the pacing of the series or the fact that it has that old animation in it. But I think that so much of this show transcends that and becomes something truly beautiful. And honestly, I just can't recommend it enough. I think it's just that good. So that was my review of Space Pirate Captain Harlock. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and bye-bye.